Ever feel a chill in a town that hides dark secrets? I'm Professor Noctry, unearthing America's most terrifying tales from the shadows. Tonight, 10 true horror stories from haunted towns across the USA will leave you sleepless. Turn off the lights, lock your doors, and join me, if you dare. In Salem, Massachusetts, 1692, the witch trials branded Sarah Good a sorceress, her execution sealing a curse that grips the town to this day. On Gallows Hill, her ghostly figure, shrouded in tattered black rags, drifts through swirling fog, her skeletal hands clawing at the icy air. Her voice, a guttural chant, echoes off gnarled trees, chilling the blood of anyone nearby. In 2018, a hiker wandered the woods at midnight, his flashlight catching her eyes burning like twin coals in the darkness. As he stumbled back, his light flickered and died, her blood-curdling screams chasing him through the pines. Locals avoid Gallows Hill, where cold spots linger like a shroud, and whispers drift from abandoned barns, their doors creaking without wind. I, Professor Noctry, uncovered 17th century journals in dusty Salem archives, yellowed pages describing her voice tormenting villagers, their livestock found dead under her curse. In 2020, a local found a pentagram carved into a tree, oozing sap like blood. Her wrath, it seems, binds Salem's soul, a malignant force that never fades, haunting every shadow, every crevice, every sleepless night in this cursed town. Amityville, New York, 1974. The DeFeo family's murder stained 112 Ocean Avenue, and the Lutz family, moving in a year later, fled after 28 days of unrelenting terror. Guttural voices chanted their names from the walls, growing louder at 3:15 a.m., the hour of the killings. A red-eyed demon glared through frosted windows, its silhouette clawing at the glass. Doors slammed shut, a foul, rotting stench choked the air, and heavy footsteps paced empty rooms above. The children woke screaming, claiming hands pulled their blankets. Ed and Lorraine Warren, summoned to investigate, felt an oppressive evil that burned their skin. Neighbors today hear screams from the vacant house, its lights flickering in unnatural patterns, like a heartbeat from hell. I studied the Warrens' notes, which detail a black ooze seeping from walls, and locals swear the house breathes, its windows pulsing as if alive, a malevolent entity claiming all who dare enter. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, 1863. The Civil War's bloodiest battle left 50,000 dead, their agony etched into the soil. At night, phantom soldiers march through thick fog, their muskets glinting under a blood-red moon, faces hollow as skulls, eyes sunken into voids. In 2020, a park ranger found fresh boot prints in muddy fields, leading to a rusted cannon, then vanishing into thin air. Visitors feel icy hands tugging their coats, hear distant cries of charge carried on the wind. Cameras capture glowing orbs floating over graves, and tents rustle with no breeze. In 2021, a camper woke to a soldier's face staring through her tent, his breath frosting the fabric. These souls are trapped in an eternal battle, their muskets firing silently, their screams echoing through Gettysburg's fields, where the ground itself seems to bleed with their unending torment. Adams, Tennessee, 1817. The Bell Witch descended on a family, her invisible claws scratching their cabin walls, splintering wood in the dead of night. Her sinister voice mocked their prayers, hissing their darkest secrets, her laughter sharp as broken glass. John Bell died, writhing from her poison, his screams tearing through the night as his family wept. Her presence haunts the Bell Cave, where flashlights flicker and rocks tumble from unseen hands. In 2019, a camper heard her hiss his name, his skin prickling as the air turned frigid. Locals shun the cave, where shadows dance without light, and a foul odor seeps from the walls. I read chilling accounts of her voice in the cave's damp, suffocating air, where visitors find their shoes caked in mud that smells of decay, a force that binds the living to her wrath. Savannah, Georgia's Wright Square harbors Alice Riley, hanged in 1735 for murdering her cruel master. Her ghost, in a tattered dress stained with blood, drifts under moss-draped oaks, her sobs chilling the humid air like a winter gust. Visitors feel cold hands brushing their necks, their breath visible in the heat. In 2019, A tourist's photo captured her eyeless shadow lurking by a tombstone, fading into mist. Others hear her footsteps crunching gravel, stopping behind them. A 2020 visitor felt her nails graze his arm, leaving red marks. Never linger after midnight or she'll follow you through Savannah's haunted streets, her whispers weaving nightmares that cling like damp moss. St. Augustine, Florida's lighthouse, built in 1874, mourns two sisters drowned in its churning tides. Their ghostly giggles echo on the spiral stairs, their shadows darting in the flickering lantern light. Workers smell salt and hear footsteps pacing the tower's peak. In 2019, a security camera caught a small figure in a white dress vanishing at the top, leaving a child's handprint on the fogged lens. The air grows heavy, as if their eyes follow you up. In 2022, a guard felt a tug on his coat, hearing a whisper. "Stay." I, Professor Noctry, found reports of their laughter turning to blood-chilling screams at dawn, the tower trembling as if grieving their loss. Myrtles Plantation, Louisiana, is cursed by Chloe, a slave who poisoned her owners in the 1800s. Her ghost, in a green turban, stares from mirrors where handprints appear, unerasable despite scrubbing. Doors lock themselves, footsteps pace empty rooms, and guests wake to her face inches away, her eyes glowing faintly. In 2021, a visitor's camera shut off as her shadow crossed the lens. The air smells of burnt sugar, and chandeliers sway without wind. This plantation's darkness never sleeps, its walls pulsing with Chloe's unrelenting vengeance. Her presence a suffocating weight on every soul who enters. Estes Park, Colorado's Stanley Hotel, inspiration for The Shining, harbors Elizabeth Wilson in room 217, killed in a 1911 gas explosion that shattered the wing. Her ghost flicks lights and unpacks guests' bags in the dead of night. Couples hear her whisper their names, her cold breath grazing their faces like a winter chill. In 2022, a guest woke to her shadow looming over the bed, her hollow eyes staring through the darkness. Doors creak open, footsteps echo in empty halls, and mirrors fog with her breath, revealing faint outlines of her face. A maid reported her uniform tugged by unseen hands, her keys vanishing only to reappear in the fireplace. Guests smell her lavender perfume lingering in the air, even after fleeing. In 2023, a couple found their suitcase slashed, clothes scattered in a circle. The hotel's corridors hum with her restless presence, as if she watches every step, her sorrow and rage woven into the walls. New Orleans' Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen, haunts St. Louis Cemetery in a red cloak, her eyes glowing like embers in the moonlight. Her spirit grants wishes or curses, her power woven into the city's humid soul. In 2021, a tourist saw her vanish into a crumbling tomb, leaving a voodoo doll pinned to his bag with a bone needle, its eyes stitched shut. Her chant thickened the air, his dreams plagued by her cackling laughter. Visitors hear her footsteps pacing the graves, candles flickering out when her name is whispered. In 2019, a tour guide found a circle of salt around her tomb, untouched by rain, and felt her hand brush his shoulder. A 2022 visitor saw her shadow dance in the fog, her voice hissing curses in French. Her influence binds New Orleans, her spells lingering in the air, wrapping the city in an unshakable, eerie grip that never fades. Mansfield, Ohio's Reformatory, closed in 1990, traps tortured spirits in its Gothic, decaying walls. Empty cells scream with unseen voices, their wails echoing through rusted bars. Cold hands grab visitors in the solitary wing, their fingers like ice. In 2018, a guard saw a prisoner's shadow hang itself in a cell, then dissolve into darkness, leaving a noose swaying. Photos show glowing eyes behind bars, and chains rattle in empty corridors. A foul stench of decay seeps from the walls, choking the air. In 2020, a paranormal team recorded whispers begging for release, their voices distorted into growls. Footprints appear in dust, leading to a locked cell door. In 2023, a visitor's flashlight shattered, and a laugh echoed from the darkness. The prison's pain clings to every stone, its horrors alive, unrelenting, as if the walls themselves scream with the agony of forgotten souls. These are just the beginning of the horrors. I, Professor Noctry, will uncover on this channel. Which story kept you awake? Comment below hit that subscribe button and join me for more true tales from the shadows. Sleep lightly, my friends.